Am I the asshole for disinviting my siblings from my wedding? There's me, 25 female, sister, 27 female, and brother, 28 male, involved here. We were raised together and until 2019 we believed we were a nuclear biological family. Then we found out our dad wasn't our bio dad, which even he didn't know. It then turned out my older siblings shared a bio dad but I had a different one. We were also first cousins because their bio and my bio were brothers. Dad left our mom, hurt, betrayed, and overall disgusted that she had lied to him for 2 decades. I was equally mad that she lied and hurt my dad. My siblings were less willing to cut her off but their relationship strained majorly. Dad moved in with me and my then boyfriend, now fiancé, and COVID hit. At this point all 3 of us agreed he was dad no matter what. And there was nothing that could change that. I meant it, they didn't. They found their bio father and mine by extension, and have decided that he is now, real dad, and that our dad is just a stepdad. My brother has even corrected his 2 little girls who called dad grandpa, into saying he's step-grandpa and that's what they call him, while bio gets called grandpa. It broke my dad's heart and he decided it was too much for him to accept. This is after talks between them where he was essentially told to know his place, stay in his lane and demoted with the clear message being nothing would change. I am so pissed at them. They have tried to push me to meet my real dad, and have told me it's okay to go back on what we said. Initially, they were invited to my wedding but with this whole mess I told them they were no longer welcome and I did not want them to show up. They told me that just because they have a relationship with their real dad, doesn't change things between us. I told them it does. That if dad isn't our real dad after everything he has done for us then we're not real siblings, because technically we are half siblings and cousins. That my dad is till my dad 100% and biology is meaningless to me. And so it was best for them not to come, because I no longer want them there. What I said hurt them. My sil, married to my brother, told me I was an asshole for throwing half in their faces and cutting them from my wedding like we haven't been siblings our whole lives. I think that's almost more annoying to me, because that's our dad. But he can be shit on and discarded like he's nothing. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. Your dad is lucky to have a daughter like you. Congrats on the wedding. My sil, married to my brother, told me I was an asshole for throwing half in their faces and cutting them from my wedding like we haven't been siblings our whole lives. But didn't your dad raise them their whole lives? And they've just dismissed everything he's done because your mum lied. Essentially it's your wedding, you can invite and disinvite who you want. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. You pick team dad, they pick team sperm donor. It's as simple as that. You used their exact reason against them and it hurt them, and still it didn't click with them. Outrageous that 20+ years of sacrifices and love can be thrown away, and the love given to a guy who didn't do anything except fuck a married woman. Not the asshole. Well, the only person who's calling you an asshole is your half-sil, cousin, and she's hardly objective. Not the asshole. And their hypocrisy is outrageous. You're still their sister because you were raised together. But the man who raised you for 2 decades under the impression that he's your father isn't their father? Do they not even see how inconsistent and unfair they're being? I'm guessing their magnanimous attitude toward their mother is due to the fact that they favor her over your dad. Not the asshole. It's your wedding and you can do what you please. If you don't want them there, that's reasonable. The man that is there for you and raised should not be demoted for something out of his control. It's fair that they want to contact their biological father, and it's fair if they still want a relationship with their mother, but to treat the man who raised them with such disrespect is nasty. And if your mother and father get divorced, does that mean he's no longer even be stepgrandpa? Unthinkable. If your half-brother and sister take offense to the fact you called them as such, then they should understand why your dad is so hurt by being called stepdad. Am I the asshole for sticking to my 29M guns when it came to our daughter's name? When my wife, 31F, and I, 29M, were trying to get pregnant, we had a deal that if we have a boy, she would get to choose the full name, and if we had a daughter I would. I was fine with this deal, but we both had a veto in case we didn't like the name the other had chosen. Once we got pregnant, my wife was completely sure that we're having a boy because a mother knows. Her entire family was convinced of it too. During baby shower, everything was blue and all the gifts were demanded to be masculine. Her mother had already started knitting things with the name my wife had chosen. Once the baby came, we saw it was a girl and I was ecstatic because, although I wanted both a boy and a girl, I always imagined my firstborn to be a girl. My wife, though seemingly exhausted, was happy too. When I wrote the name in the birth certificate, I let her know I was using the name I had already run past her. Now, a year later, I come home from work and I find my mill and wife there talking about my daughter, only they are using another name. When I inquired who they were talking about, they kinda went deer in headlights and blurted that they were talking about daughter. When I asked why they were using another name, my mill said because that's what we decided to name her. Then she went on a rant about how it's unfair that I chose the name and how it's completely unsuitable for her, etc. I was shocked because this was the first time anyone had claimed any objections to the name. So now I realize that the reason my daughter has trouble recognizing her name is because we have been using two different names the entire time. My wife later came to me suggesting we officially get her name changed, and I stuck to my guns and told her we are not doing that and she needs to stop. This led to a fight about how unsupportive I am and stole her right to name the child she gave birth to. I told her that the opportunity to veto any name is long gone and she can't expect me to support something this stupid. Here's the worst part. I could be convinced to change the first name, but the one she wants is a very odd feminine version of the name she wanted for her son. Imagine using a female version of the name Drake or Thomas. She got angry and left both my daughter and I and went to her parents. Her entire family except my Phil is calling me controlling and how it's unfair I chose the entire name and made it all about myself. Honestly, this is so out of left field and creepy that I'm considering divorce. My parents and friends said they understand why I'm upset but should come to a compromise and change the name to something we both like and that divorce is overkill, but I don't think so. I feel it in my gut that she may be trying to recreate this son by sacrificing our daughter. If she can use a different name to address her for a year. What else has she been doing to her? So Reddit, am I the asshole for not compromising with our daughter's name? Not the asshole. It is creepy. Your wife in cahoots with your mother-in-law over the name and they didn't bother to tell you anything is a big betrayal. And yes, you should be pissed off, because it speaks of their character, and from the sounds of it they don't have a good character. You're the father. Your mother-in-law is not the parent. Any name discussion should be between you and your wife and you both need to be in agreement. Your wife is 100% wrong for going behind your back, and your mother-in-law is way out of line. If your first instinct is divorce, then maybe it's not just the name that's been troubling you. Listen to your gut, not the asshole. Honestly, I feel like this is a hill to die on. Not the asshole. How is it controlling and unfair to insist that your daughter's name is her name? You not only had an agreement that she'd choose a boy's name, and you a girl's, but that you both had veto power. She had every opportunity to have input into the name. The only person being controlling here is the one trying to insist that 12 months later she gets to change your daughter's name to basically the boy name she'd chosen. That's weird, and mildly disturbing. Not the asshole, but op. I would check with your daughter's medical records with her doctor's office, to make sure that her legal name is on them, not her fictitious made-up name from your wife, or this could cause issues in the future. If your daughter has a sitter, do the same. Be sure to make sure that everyone knows that your daughter's name is the one originally chosen. If you do divorce, have your lawyer put it somewhere in writing that your wife, and her insane family, must use your daughter's legal name, the one chosen at birth, when she has custody of your daughter, otherwise suffer legal consequences. She is confusing your daughter. She is not a puppy she can just rename on whim. Good luck. Not the asshole. The baby is a year old. If she had a problem with the name she should have tried talking to you when the baby was born. Divorce might be a good second choice, but couples therapy is a must. Just remember though, if you do get divorced you will have to split custody, and depending on how that goes you might lose this battle anyway. Not the asshole. You guys had a deal, and it sounds like she didn't veto the name when you ran it past her before. So she shouldn't be running around confusing the child now about what her name is. But your wife and her mama are both Oz. Would I be the asshole if I didn't go to my brother's wedding over a bridesmaid dress? I'm currently in medical school and live across the country from my brother family. I was surprised when his fiancée asked me to be a bridesmaid because I barely know her, but she wants to have all siblings in the wedding. I made it clear that their wedding was during my final exam week, and while I was able to get an accommodation to take my last 2 exams early, I still wouldn't be able to help much with planning or be present at things like a bachelorette party, bridal shower. She said this was fine, it would mostly just be to have an even number of bridesmaids to groomsmen and for pictures. There's a group chat that was created months ago that I would read through every couple of days to get updates on things I needed to do, namely to order a bridesmaid dress. Links were sent with 3 styles to choose from and we would be updated on colors later. So a couple weeks go by and I ask what color to order. Bride says she's still thinking about it. Couple more weeks go by and she's still thinking, then a couple more weeks. You get the idea. Now it's at the point that if I don't order this dress in a couple of days it won't be here in time. So I ask on Saturday what color. No response in the group chat to me. I asked again yesterday, Sunday. What color do I need to order? Then I'm flooded with messages lambasting me for not ordering a dress yet, from her sisters and my sister and her. My sister called me, told me to get my tea together, and order a dress already, because my lack of preparedness is causing the bride intense anxiety because she doesn't think my dress will be here on time for the wedding now. She texted me this morning, "Don't forget order your dress, love you," with smiling and kissing emojis. Still, no one has told me what color. I've scoured the group chat for a mention of dress colors or an image of a dress, but only the maid of honor sent a photo of her dress and I don't know if she has a special color. There's thousands of messages so it's not simple to find anything. Everyone else can meet in person so I assume the decision on color was relayed in person. I can't tell if I'm being purposefully excluded? About an hour ago my brother called me pleading with me to work things out with the bride because she's panicking about me. I tried to explain this to him and he told me he doesn't care. It's a petty ladies issue. And since I'm not there for anything else this is the least I can do because the bride thinks I don't like her because I wouldn't come to anything. He's taking her side. They know I'm in medical school, I have literally no say in my schedule. And I'm on the other side of the country, 5.5 hours by plane. I'm fed up with them and contemplating telling my instructors the wedding was moved and I will take my exams at the regular time. I'd have more time to study that way anyway. I haven't told anyone in my family I'm considering this. WIBTA? And #X200B. And #X200B. Update. I called my mother and asked her what color the bridesmaid dresses are, she said lavender. The only color option on the website that I would call lavender are named pearly lilac, periwinkle, and orchid purple. I texted the maid of honor, bride's sister, to ask what dress color and got a multi-paragraph long lecture about not having ordered my dress yet. Basically, they are trying so hard to accommodate me being across the country by including me in the group chat. She said she didn't remember the shade name but it's a dusty purple. Then sent a blurry picture of a wrinkled order confirmation. The shade name was mulberry. On the dress website that is a darker wine, purple color. I told her this and she said to order the lighter dusty purple color. I sent her a screenshot with the list of shade names and asked, "Which of these?" She said she didn't know because everyone ordered their dress so long ago and asked for pictures of the dresses in different shades from the website. So I sent screenshots of all the light purple colors. No response for a while so I called her on the phone, which she was upset about because it's past 10 p.m. over there now. Her response was, "Look, I don't care what your problem is with me and my sister but if you want to stay in good standing with this family you need to get your ducks lined up girly." I ignored the lecture, comments and asked, "What color?" Her response? "Light purple." Me. Of the 3 I sent, which one is it? Her. "I don't remember, I'll have to ask one of the other bridesmaids for her receipt. I'll get back to you." I want to bash my head into a wall. I called my second brother, the one not getting married. He said they're pulling similar things with him and he feels like he was deliberately given the wrong dates for the bachelor party by the best man, bride's brother, so that he would miss it. He inadvertently learned about the change date the morning of and when he asked the best man he told him it must have slipped his mind to tell him. Then joked that he wouldn't have missed much since he probably won't enjoy any of the festivities, anyway. They've been making homophobic jokes and comments to him that he's been ignoring but he thinks they're trying to get him to back out of the wedding. So if we both back out then there will be an even number of bridesmaids to groomsmen again. Only speculation on our parts of course. I don't understand why they can't just tell you what color to order. Not the asshole. This is weird. Black dress. Black veil. It goes with everything and you'll look super slim by comparison. Bonus. Foreshadowing. I'm getting second-hand anxiety just from reading your post. Why is no one telling you the color of the dress? Not the asshole. Call up your sister, that told you to get your tea together, and ask her what color. Also, your brother is an ass and a chauvinist with that petty ladies issue talk. It's clear why you're the sibling in med school. I would send one last message. Short and sweet. I have not been told what color dress to order. If I have heard by tonight, the dress won't arrive and I will have to withdraw. Hope to hear from you. Not the asshole. Focus on your exams. Am I the asshole for doing the same thing to my husband as he did to me? Throwaway account as he also has Reddit. Yesterday was laundry day. My husband has a mindless habit of taking the laundry basket and putting it on our bed while he's using it. I think it's gross, but I normally don't say anything as he's a good partner and I pick my battles. I do say something when he puts the basket directly on my pillows, though. The basket normally lives in our laundry room, which is by an outside door and a litter box. I've asked him, more than once, to please be mindful of where he's putting the laundry basket because I'd really rather not have dirt, litter, cat fecal matter, and who knows what on my pillow. Yesterday, there it was on my pillow, again. Instead of reminding him for the umpteenth time, I took the basket and put it on his pillow and left the room. A little while later, he found me and asked why I put the basket on his pillow and told me how gross that was. I asked him why he always put it on my pillow then? He said it was different, those were accidents and not malicious. I reminded him that after the first time it happened, it's no longer an accident, it's disrespectful. He told me I was being spiteful and passive-aggressive and I should have come to him. Again. I agree it was passive-aggressive, but direct communication obviously wasn't working. Am I the asshole? And #X200B. Edit. A lot of you are bringing up that the basket is never on his pillow. So, we have a California king-sized bed with my side being easily accessed and near dressers. His side is by the wall with only enough space to get in and out of bed. So laundry is sorted on my side for convenience. As mentioned, the basket is placed many places on the bed, including my pillows, but not on his because he'd literally have to chuck the basket across the bed to have it sit there. And #X200B. Edit 2. Y'all. This took off, lol. I've decided to show this thread to my husband when I get home for laughs. I apologize in that I don't think I explained the aftermath properly, that he wasn't mad at me and I wasn't mad at him. I just had enough and tried a different approach to making a boundary clear. He already told me afterward he won't do it again, but he didn't care for my approach, which was fine. I didn't care for his initial action that started this. I think the new rule will be just no baskets on the bed, period. For everyone who had a sane and logical response, I sincerely appreciate your thoughts. NTA, and he has guts to openly reproach you for the same thing he is doing for a long time. Completely agree with you, after the first time it is not more an accident. Well played. Not the asshole. Your husband isn't forgetting. He's doing it on purpose. Not the asshole. If he thinks it's gross on his pillow, then he knows it's gross on yours. Not the asshole. Your husband has just revealed to you that he's lying when he says it's accidental and not malicious. He can tell it's gross when the laundry basket is on his pillow. Therefore he also knows it's gross when it's on yours. If he never accidentally puts it on his own pillow, and even considers that action so egregious that he came and talked to you about it, then you know for certain now that you're married to a man who puts dirt and cat litter on your pillow on purpose. Personally, this would be a huge deal for me and not something he could come back from easily. Especially not after he reacted with adjective name-calling to your very reasonable attempt at holding him accountable. Not the asshole. If this kind of behavior is isolated to your laundry, maybe the best path forward is developing a new system to avoid this particular problem. Not the asshole. If he thinks it's so gross himself, then how does he accidentally put it on your pillow? I don't think him doing this to you is as much of an accident as it was him clearly not caring. He needed a taste of his own medicine to understand how you feel when you walk in and see the basket on your pillow.